I remember at some point I needed the spirit of encouragement. 2018 or thereabout. There were things God told me that was going to happen, and I didn't see them happen. And I was the same way God speaks to me about certain things and I saw happen. But this one was one of the first times He spoke to me and I did not see it happen. And I was worried inside of me, and I went home and I traveled from Jos to Lagos and stayed with a couple of a pastor friend who left the house for me and said, you can do whatever you want to do. And I stayed in the house praying. I remember 3 days I was locked inside the house and asking God, Lord, did you really speak to me? Did you reveal? I needed the spirit of encouragement. I was so depressed in me. Do you know that you can be fasting and be depressed? I fasted 3 days, but I came out still depressed, even more depressed, because now I was hungry. More hungry. Imagine fasting for 3 days. So I was hungry. I was so depressed. And so I remember that friend of mine who was in the Assemblies of God church, and he says, sir, before you travel back, please, you just come share with us in church. So I was on my way to church. And while I was on my way to church, or from church rather, after the ministration, I was on my way from church. I was walking through the market. For those of you know Apapa, Ijora in Lagos. I was walking back, and then a man hurried up to me. He was holding a Bible, and he said, dear sir, dear man of God, I have a message from you from the Lord. I said, they warned me about Lagos to be careful. He says, I have a message from you from the Lord. He said to me, the Lord said you were going to go this way, but He says, I am changing it. And I said, oh, I don't really understand what you're saying. So we got to this bridge. I think, what do you call it? A bridge where you have to pay before you cross. So we got to this bridge, and there were these boys standing right in front of the bridge, everybody asking for money. And this man looked at me and he walked past. They didn't see him. No, you missed that one. These were two people standing, all of them, their hands waiting for their money. He walked past. They didn't see him. I said, maybe the bridge is now free. I tried to walk past. They pushed me back and said, money. I said, what of that man? Which man? He was there standing. I removed, I think it's 15 or 100 now, I can't remember. I removed and I gave it to them. Now I wanted to listen to everything he was saying. So I followed him and I kept listening. And he encouraged me. God can send angels to encourage you. Why? Because He knows that you need that spirit to drive you to the next level. Do you understand it now? He has given His word, but when you're getting weak, even Elijah was weak at some point, and God had to send forth His angel to encourage him. I want to encourage you as the angel and the mouthpiece of God this morning. Don't give up yet. Don't give up yet. Let that spirit of encouragement dwell in you, because the best is yet to happen. Somebody shout glory.